Are you gonna taste anything apart from the corn? It seems like in the 50s, like people were maybe salt conscious or salt was maybe more scarce. I have no idea. Today I'm going to make a retro recipe from a 1950s edition of the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. This one happens to be casserole themed. After that, I'll make a modern take on the same recipe, and then I'll try them both to see which I prefer. So today I'm gonna make a jumbo Cornburger, which is in the hearty beef section of the cookbook. This is the entire recipe. There's no photo, there's very little instructions, so I'm just kind of curious as to what's gonna happen here. From the recipe, I can assume there's 2 beef patties and it gets filled with like a center of corn. I'm gonna start by mixing the beef with canned tomato sauce, egg, salt, pepper, and Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. There we go. Okay, the beef goes right in. I imagine this is gonna be pretty wet. Should have taken my engagement ring off before doing this, huh? I feel like this could be vaguely meatloaf related, but this is very, very wet in kind of like a weird way. The recipe says to take half the mixture and flatten it in the bottom of the baking dish. Because this is in the bottom of the baking dish, I'm wondering if it's gonna actually like steam the beef rather than like get a good sear or color on it. That has me a little concerned. I'm gonna wash my hands, make the filling. Combine remaining ingredients. Okay. So I've got some corn, breadcrumbs, green bell pepper. I'm just wondering, like, is this much pimento pepper actually gonna do anything? It seems like an awfully small amount for how much beef there is, but some onion and salt and pepper. I'm just kind of skeptical if the filling ingredients, like, are you gonna taste anything apart from the corn? It seems like in the 50s, like people were maybe salt conscious or salt was maybe more scarce. I have no idea, but it seems like everything's kind of light on salt. The mixture's good to go, and it just says to spoon it on top of the beef. The ratio of the beef to corn feels unexpected to me. This amount of corn, this is a ton of corn, and there's still so much beef to put on top, but maybe you really wanna like pack it down. Okay, I've gotta spread it. Okay, I think it's actually gonna just cover it perfectly. Although I've never seen anything like this, I do think the layer of corn in between is like kind of cute. There's some like novelty about it. The recipe says to bake it at 375 for 1 hour. That's what I'm gonna do. The next step calls for 1 tomato peeled and cut into wedges. To do this, you just wanna score the top so that it looks like that. Then pop them into boiling water and let them hang out for a few minutes just until they start to the skin starts to peel off. Ooh, and it's starting to foam. That's the sign that we're good to go. Tomatoes go into the ice water to shock them. It's also gonna help peel them. Paring knife might be a little easier. Look, and it peels right off. Beautiful. Look at the difference. It really looks naked. The recipe says to cut the tomato into wedges. It doesn't say how many wedges, but it has to go all over, so maybe into 8ths? Okay, peeled tomato wedges. There we go. Okay, the jumbo Cornburger has been in an hour. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, it looks pretty gray, but it smells actually really good. So the recipe says, last 5 minutes, arrange tomato on top. Sprinkle with cheese. I do wonder if the tomato is gonna like kind of be like too juicy and like make the top a little soggy. It's pretty. And then sprinkle with cheese. Calls for American cheese on top. It's the 50s, here we go. I mean, honestly, it looks fine. It looks great. I'm gonna put this in the oven for 5 more minutes and then we'll have the grand reveal. Time to take it out. I'm like really excited about this. It looks cool. It looks exciting. It's like, You kind of get like, you know, tomato soup and grilled cheese vibes on top with a burger with corn. It's like you're going through a whole journey of food here. I'm gonna let this cool down a little, and in the meantime, I'm gonna make my own version of this dish. Then I'm gonna try them together. So for the modern take on the jumbo Cornburger, I'm gonna make a Southwestern style burger. Jumbo Cornburger, modern day burger, very similar. Pay an homage, I'm gonna have a salsa on top with some similar ingredients, corn, tomatoes. But you know, this is gonna be a classic burger. Like if you went to a restaurant, you could get this and be thrilled. To start, the salsa. First, I'm going to chop some tomatoes. In terms of burger toppings, first, I really love burgers, like really love burgers. And when it comes to toppings, I do like the idea of like a fun salsa on top. Unlike the jumbo Cornburger, I will be keeping the skins on to save time, but also because like I've never once had a tomato skin and be like, this is weird. It's just like part of it. Now I'm gonna add some corn. Again, similar jumbo Cornburger, corn salsa, you know? And some green onions. It's just gonna add a little texture, a little sharpness to it in a good way. Jalapeno. I've noticed in these recipes from the 50s, there's not a lot of like spice or heat. And I think that really can add great dimension to a dish. So here we are. If you do want something less spicy, you could take the seeds out. If you wear contacts, you might want to have gloves on so you don't touch your eyes. I've made that mistake pre-LASIK many times. Then some lime zest and juice. Often if I'm using the juice of a citrus, I'll use the zest too. It just really like brings that flavor home. This is just to give it some acidity, brightness. It's gonna go really well to cut the fat of the burger. You could also use the salsa for like chips. Tortilla chips and salsa sounds great. And then some salt. Just mix it together and salsa's done. So easy. It's like a really fun way to upgrade your burger game. Next up, the burger patties. This is very easy. I'm gonna take my rings off this time, lesson learned, and salt and pepper. There's two main styles of burgers. There's pub style burgers and smash burgers. Pub style burger is about 8 ounces of meat. They're thicker. It's the kind of burger you would make like on the grill. You could also do it stovetop. And the smash burger is like really thin, like 2 to 4 ounces, and you smash it down. For today, I'm gonna make a pub style burger. So it's gonna be like, you know, nice, thick patty. Again, homage to the Cornburger without being, you know, the same thing. For this modern take, I was so excited to use ground beef, and because I love burgers so much, I was like, oh, well, this is the natural choice. Could have made a meatloaf, but meatloaf feels pretty retro to me. These are pretty big burgers. So my pan is really hot, it's ready to go. I'm gonna add just a little bit of oil. Because the burgers already have so much fat in them, you really need to be very skimpy with this. That's the sound. Perfect. I'm a firm believer in like, you know, make the food you want to eat. So if you love like a potato bun for a burger, get that. If you love brioche, get that. You know, get the kind of bun that you really love. This is just like a nice brioche bun, which I think is going to go really well. Kind of the sweetness of the bun, there's some spiciness in the salsa. It's going to be a good combination. I feel like this salsa also kind of like plays into the idea of like skipping condiments. You know, rather than ketchup, you've got the tomatoes in here. Rather than like something spicy, you've got the jalapeno. Like it kind of is playing the role of condiments. Once the burger is almost done, that's your signal to add the cheese. I'm using pepper jack because that feels like kind of in the Southwestern theme. A good tip to really help that cheese melt and kind of like enclose the burger is just to pop a lid on it for a minute. Ooh, that's perfect. And you see, those burgers look so massive, but actually they fit to the buns perfectly. I'm just gonna add some salsa on top. I think it's good to go. Ooh, she's a little messy. She's very messy. Southwestern style burger is done. I'm gonna taste this against the jumbo Cornburger. I'm so excited to try both of these, but I'm particularly excited about the jumbo Cornburger. It just smells so good. It's like savory, there's that cheesy smell. I can't wait. I will acknowledge that it is positively swimming in oil, but maybe that's okay. Very easy to cut into. There we go. It's like taking a slice of pie. You can see the fat kind of coming up as I'm cutting into it. Okay, moment of truth. This is cool. I'm kind of into all the elements, I have to say. Let's see how it tastes. Tasty. This is pretty good. I think the corn filling is actually really nice. I think it adds some like really nice textural elements. The cheese on top is lovely. The tomatoes feel, lose the tomatoes. I do think the whole thing needs a little more salt, but overall, it's pretty good. I really, actually, that was very enjoyable. I have to say my burger feels less exciting in comparison. It's also really big. Burger is fine. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I actually might choose the jumbo Cornburger over this. While I totally support my initial idea of the Southwestern style burger, I think maybe doing like a smash burger, like 2 patties, more cheese, just like more flavor would have been the way to go. Like, I think this one it was a bit more dynamic overall. You know, with the jumbo Cornburger, I went back for many bites because there's so many different elements in here. And that felt exciting to me. Like, if I was served this at a dinner, I'd be like, ooh, what is this? I think the Better Homes and Gardens food editors of the 1950s knew what they were doing here. Let me know in the comments if you would ever attempt a jumbo Cornburger and what you would put in the middle. Would you change anything or keep it as is? I'd love to know.